Hello. This presentation is brought to you by Luke Campbell and Andrew Voski, and today you'll be learning about seawalls. It's hard engineering because it involves using concrete and making a wall. It's not a naturally occurring process, and it requires humans to make it. Without humans, there wouldn't be seawalls. In Florida, a lot of the state is very close to sea level, and there's a lot of coastal areas. Also, there's a lot of storms that hit the peninsula, so they need seawalls to protect them from the ocean. Here's a picture of Florida if the sea levels rose by a few feet. Notice the cities that would be underwater. In Vancouver, they needed the seawall to protect a national park's foreshore from further erosion. Usually it's not sustainable because it involves controlling the waves and redirecting the ocean's power somewhere else, typically causing a lot of erosion to the beach and seafloor in front of the wall. Also, it usually either replaces or leads to the destruction or changing of habitats for different species. However, there are new types of seawalls being made that are supposed to promote habitat growth and prevent the destruction. They have three parts: the underwater zone, the intertidal zone, and the above water zone. They're about as expensive as regular seawalls, so they'll probably replace the old ones with the good ones. This is making it more and more sustainable. They can last decades and are really tough, so although they're expensive to make initially, they're definitely a good long-term investment. So some advantages are that it protects coastal areas from flooding and erosion, and it protects it from waves and helps with tsunamis. It lasts for a really long time and doesn't need a lot of work for a lot of decades. If the new kind is made, it can be custom made to suit the habitat and prevent a lot of habitat loss the old way caused. Some disadvantages are that it's really expensive to make, and the old walls are really bad for the environment because they led to a lot of habitat loss and erosion of the coasts and seafloors as the wave power was redirected in unnatural directions.
So how seawalls work when waves would come onto the shore or land? They would have a seawall there, and then basically what the seawall does, it just breaks up the wave. So the wave crashes, and then it loses all of its force and power. So it can protect the public land. So for example, in Vancouver, the seawall is the biggest seawall in the world, and the Vancouver seawall helps it by preventing erosion on the park's foreshore. And also seawalls are being implemented through much of the Florida coastline because they are designed to act like a mangrove trees. They provide habitats like mangrove and also protect the coast from the oceans. So just seawalls protect the land and the shore so the waves don't cause erosion and break everything. So the Vancouver seawall costed about $300 million, which is a lot of money. So it came out to be $1,300 per foot. And the seawalls in Florida cost around $1,000 per foot. So this is tons and tons of money, but considering how long the seawalls last, and you don't really have to put any work into them after you built them, they seem like a pretty good cause for it, even though you're spending tons of money. Would I recommend seawalls? Yes, I would. So even though it does cost tons of money, it's also worth noting that it saves public areas and it keeps the beauty of public things. Especially with the invention of way better ways to make seawalls, like the ones that make habitats which would be destroyed by old seawalls. It is a increasingly good way to make people in the sea life happy and keep the coastal life healthy and thriving. So would I recommend it? Yes, it does cost tons of money, But if a whole city or a whole country or a whole state is paying for it, I think it's very worth it.